welcome back to another episode of RCX Unwrapped,
May and
June edition. So we had 2 months of books, which is, yeah.
I slacked in May.
I actually didn't read a ton in May, but they're all very large books, so I got that going for me. Anyways, do I
You start.
Okay. I read, firstly, Everyone Sucks But You. This is a typical, like, high school young adult novel. It's two girls and they have a really toxic relationship. It's everybody's high school experience if you're a teenage girl. It's very complicated and very good. I mean, I really enjoyed it. The art is a little off-putting at times, but it was still very good. So yeah. Hooray!
Still want to read it.
Still want to read it. Yes, exactly.
Keep going.
Keep going. I read The Harrowing Game. This is, so, should I remember this? So it's a game, basically, right? And, 3 ghosts gather to tell their stories in turn. Scariest story wins. Only one winner may move on. So it's 2 ghosts that have been doing this for a while. It's a kid in a bathtub and a woman in a mirror. And the 3rd ghost joins and doesn't know anything. She doesn't remember anything, and so on and so forth. So the first 2 ghosts tell their stories, and in turn she starts to remember her own story, and it is the most harrowing of them all. It was very interesting.
Has it got Edo vibes?
It does have Edo vibes. It's all black and white, so very interesting.
I read Espada, The Will of the Blade, and obviously it's about a sword. That's what Espada means in Spanish. What? And legend has it that there's something special about this sword, but do I remember anything about this book?
It's okay. It was May.
So not everyone in this world has access to magic, and the people that don't have it are trying to get it back, and so everyone can have it. So it was a very relevant story to today and what's going on in the world, so I appreciated that, and I like the mythology.
The art's really pretty,
and the art is really pretty. I love the big ol' eyes.
Big ol' eyes.
But yeah, it was really good, and it's translated from Spanish.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Next I read Brielle and Bear, which Jaclyn read in April? Wow, that was a long time ago. But yeah, I finally sat down and read it, and it is adorable and sweet, and I think I want to read only about them for the rest of my life. The art style is so cute. I want to live in this world with them. Mm-hmm. Yes, highly recommend.
I read Beetle and the Chimera Carnival, which Tess already read in April. So I reread Beetle first, and then finally read this one. And of course, it's everything that I wanted it to be and more. Mm-hmm. I love Beetle and Cat's relationship, how it's blossoming, and how we get a little bit more of the magic and their world. And dragons. So many dragons. So it gets a little bit darker. It's not as light and fluffy as the first one, but it's wonderful.
It's an excellent sequel. Like, I think it lived up to the first one, personally.
I heard there's going to be a trilogy.
A trilogy, yeah. So, fingers crossed.
I hope so. I love them so much.
It's just perfect. I think everybody should read that book.
It's so good.
Next I read Fitting Idion. So I read it, I promise.
I've been meaning to read this one.
Natasha her parents want her to be the perfect Indian daughter, right? And that is obviously a very difficult thing to do. Her parents' expectations of her are way through the roof, and she isn't coping with that well, as anyone would. So she turns to a lot of really unhealthy coping mechanisms, and it's kind of about her dealing with these addictions that she has and not letting them affect her family or her friendships, but with a lot of unhealthy coping mechanisms, they tend to affect and drive people away. And it's just kind of about her and how she gets through it or experiences it. So It's very good. I enjoyed it. It was really heavy. But yeah.
I love the title and how it's like a play on words.
Yes. So, yes.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
We both read Rebis.
Which may be the best book.
This is probably the best book here.
Yeah.
Sorry, Beetle, but
Rebis
is so good. It's about an albino kid and a witch, and they become friends. Well, not really friends. It's more like she kind of mothers the kid.
Yeah.
And then the kid grows up. But anyways, I don't want to spoil anything because this book is one that you need to experience.
Yes.
For sure. But the art is
so beautiful.
It's a coming of age for more than one character, but especially Rebis, as you know, self-titled. And this tree is very important.
Yes.
And I think that was one of my favorite scenes.
Definitely.
Seeing the tree. What do you have to say?
What do I have to say? I love a lot. I really do like a witch trial book, and this deals directly into that.
Yeah.
It was gorgeous. I definitely I've been spending a lot more time outside lately, wandering in the forest because of a camp job I have, and I've been looking under rocks and finding grubs, and I'm like, wait a minute, do I want to take it home?
Yeah.
I haven't yet, but this book made me want to like keep bugs.
Yeah. Rebis has a bug. They basically.
And
the bug
it
comes of
grows
age.
as Rebis comes of age.
It's so beautiful.
It's so good. It is so good.
And the witch family. So definitely found family vibes.
Yes.
And
lots of strong women. So yeah.
Yes. I love the alternative cover with the bug.
The bug. Oh, it's so cute.
It's the best book ever.
It's really, 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 really good.
Really.
Finally I finished Silver Surfer. The whole thing, the whole shebang.
Did you cry?
Oh my god, I cried so much. It feels like I read this book years and years ago, but it is just as wonderful as everyone has said it was. I adore the Silver Surfer and I adore Dawn, and the art is just amazing and it's just so freaking good. I don't have a whole lot to say about it, but if you're going to read any comic, let this be on your list. So,
I agree.
Phenomenal.
I'm glad you read it.
Yes. You want me to go next?
Sure. I'll just jump into June when we're
Okay,
done,
cool.
So. I read Static Season
Yay!
1.
I really want to read this.
So this is reprint material from not the original, but the original. So Static originally came out a while ago, like 20 freaking years ago. But this is like the more recent than that stuff. And I really like this character a lot because he uses his anger for good. I like that he's angry. He has every right to be angry. And how they got their powers was really interesting. And I'm curious to read the original to see what was changed. Because I've heard it was changed a little bit. Because in this one, it's a Black Lives Matter protest. Before, obviously, that wasn't really a label then. So, anyways, this was really, really good. I really like this character. I haven't read the YA book about him, so this is my first intro to this character and the Milestone universe.
Yeah. I'm excited to read that one too.
It's cool.
Yeah, I have the YA book as well, but I still haven't read it.
Not all superhero comics are sunshine and rainbows.
Exactly.
Not all heroes are black and white.
It's true. So, preach it. This was my least favorite thing that I read. It's No Longer Human by Junji Ito. And I knew going into this that this would be my least favorite thing I had read. I knew it was going to be terrible because it's about a man who's just miserable and he makes it everybody else's problem, which I already deal enough with. So I read it and I was just like disgusted by it. And I guess in a way that's a good thing, you know, because it made had such a reaction to it. But he's like the main character, he's just miserable. And this is based off of a book originally written by Osamu Dazai, also called No Longer Human, and Junji Ito made it into this manga. It is just about a man who really wants to die, and he makes it everybody else's issue.
Wow.
And he doesn't try and help himself, and every time he tries to help himself, he messes it up for him and everybody around him. So, you can read it if you want to be angry or if you don't like men. No, honestly, it's... And I knew it would be terrible, so at least I'm not surprised. But
expectations.
Exactly. Met, I guess.
Met.
I guess so. And I guess I'll talk about this one. I read a bunch of Junji Ito books because I was really bored one day. And I was like, I should feel something. So I read... Scared, yeah. So I read this one. I read Rumina. I read Geo. But we don't have the other two here. It's fine. But I did read Love Sickness. This is a collection of short stories, but the main one is about a fog that covers this town. And there is a stranger who walks in the fog and convinces girls to kill themselves. He is so beautiful that they kill themselves is basically what's happening here. And of course there's a guy who's like, we can't do that. And it's him exploring the fog and also talking about different people he interacts with and different occasions and all of that good stuff. It's freaky. It's good. So, if you like Junji Ito, you should read both of these if you like Junji Ito. But just be warned with this one. Alright, June.
Going into June. Did I win this time?
Maybe. Or maybe your books are bigger than mine.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. I read Trans History, which was fascinating because it literally starts in ancient times and goes to present day recollections from real people. And I love that the color palette was...
I didn't know that.
Each chapter was a different color and it makes a rainbow.
I love that so much.
But a lot of it, ancient times into like some other history, is very speculative because you're not exactly sure what happened, but they're basing it on all the information that they do have. And basically, trans people have always been around.
Mm-hmm.
This book was really well done, and the author actually has a story in the back too. It's 2 trans creators, so that's why they wrote it. Because you need to know.
It's true. It's true. I gotta read that one as well.
It's wordy.
It's just
a history book.
Yeah.
But it's worth it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's worth it.
Cool. Very cool. I'm excited.
There's a lot of references.
Well, I do love a back acknowledgements and references.
Yeah. But the best part was the personal stories. I always love the personal narratives and them telling a brief part of their story.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So next I read The Human Target because I'm still on my Tom King kick. The best part about this story was the art. Let me show you the art. It's gorgeous. Let me find a good picture. It is so beautiful. I think it's Greg Smallwood. I think that if he draws it, I'll read it. It's the lighting is gorgeous, the shadows, the way emotion is conveyed is so lovely. The story itself is interesting. It's so the Human Target is a superhero who's hired to be the target of like bad guys. So he dresses up like bad guys to get murdered instead of them, but he always manages to like heal himself or something. And an attempt goes wrong and he is poisoned and he is set to die in 12 days, but he doesn't know who poisoned him. And if their intention was to poison him or to poison Lex Luthor, who he was playing as. It's interesting. It's definitely a story. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the art more. It's an interesting, like, it's really well written, so I knew that going into it, but, you know, not totally my thing.
It happens.
Exactly.
So, I read The Least We Can Do, and when I talked about Espada earlier, I may have told you what this book was about instead.
Oh, no.
So, this one, there's a magical power that only the elite have, and this ragtag group is trying to get it and make it available for everybody. That's what I said Espada was about, but that's what this book is about.
Also.
My bad.
Whoops.
Espada is just about a sword and some magical stuff, but that I was describing this one. See, they're both good. This one's got more of a science fiction element to it. The Espada is more fantasy. And this one also is queer, so I love that.
Course.
And this one is also, I don't think it's translated, but the creators are Italian as well.
Nice.
Or Spanish. They're Italian, Espada is Spanish. It's so complicated. But this one is really good. I don't always love sci-fi, but this was a lot of fun because the adventure elements and the art is really pretty.
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
The main character has a really big secret, and I hope the story continues because that needs to be developed more.
Very cool. Very cool. Next I read maybe my favorite thing of the month. I read Superman versus Meshi. This is Superman versus food. So, oh my god, I love this so much. Superman discovers Japanese food or Asian food, and he loves it.
Oh my god.
And he centers his entire life around it. And so it's a bunch of just short stories of him trying to like escape the things he's supposed to be doing so that he can go and eat food. And he interacts with a bunch of characters along the way. Like we see Batman and we see Wonder Woman and a bunch of other superheroes and stuff. My favorite of the stories is he runs into Aquaman at one of these restaurants, and Aquaman is having a full-on conversation with a piece of tuna. And Superman's like, whoa, you can talk to dead fish? And Aquaman's like, yep, I can. And then Aquaman tells Superman that the fish is telling him that Superman sucks. And then he eats the fish and is like, aren't you glad I took care of that? And it's just so good and it's so silly. And it was exactly what I needed out of everything. Like, maybe the world is miserable, but we have this. And we have 3 whole volumes of it. And each one is just as delightful as the last. So literally, I think I need you to go and read it right now, please. If it brings you half as much joy as it brought me, that's, yeah, so freaking good. So good.
And the opposite of joy, I have The Parable of the Sower and Parable of the Talents by Octavia Butler, adapted into graphic novels. So I had read the original novel of this one, but not this one. So when I read this graphic novel, I was like, oh my gosh, I've already read this. But I sped read freaking this one because it's really, really good. The art is dreary, but it fits the story so well. And it's like almost a word-for-word adaptation because Lauren's journals are literally exerted into the text. And if you have no idea what this book is about, it's a post-apocalyptic dystopian, however you want to describe it, book. It actually takes place in 2024. That's when it starts, so very timely, and it felt very, very real. A lot of stuff is happening, and if you haven't read these, definitely.
I did read Parable of the Sower, but I haven't read this one yet.
The original or this one?
I read the original and I read this one, and it was a very, very good adaptation.
Yeah, so the second one is just as good. I thought maybe because there's more life in the cover that
it would be happier.
It was just as bad as sad. Just as much burning and destruction, even though there's new life.
Ouch.
I wasn't expecting Lauren's daughter to be like narrating the story, and I was like,
yeah, that hurts. Ouch.
Emotional damage.
Truth.
Watson agrees.
He's here, by the way. You just can't see him.
He's blending into the couch.
He is. Oh. Next I read Jenny Sparks. This is once again by Tom King. This one was also really good. So Jenny Sparks is the spirit of the 20th century. And she is technically more powerful than everybody else on Earth. And basically, a DC character, Captain Atom, goes rogue. And he is tearing things up, he's killing people, he's killed hundreds and hundreds of people because he wants to be, like, king of the earth or whatever. He wants to rule everything. And multiple attempts to, like, get him to calm down fail, and eventually everybody dies except for Jenny. And she ends up, like, talking to him and getting to the root of what the issue is and eventually defeating him. It was really, really good. She is such an interesting character. I had never heard of her before this book came out. But I definitely want to know more.
She looks like Emily Blunt.
She kind of does. She kind of does. She's gorgeous. And she just doesn't take anyone's bullshit. And is, I don't know, it's another badass woman character. So
we need more of those.
You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. But yeah.
I read Scent, Pursuit of the Golden Hill by Tiffany Petit, which is self-published. We met her at Heroes Con. And this book is a Western sci-fi fantasy thing. There are these wolf creatures, and these two siblings get stuck in a winter storm, and the adventure ensues. The Golden Hill is actually this character here. He can shapeshift from a lichen into a human, and so he is taking Ruth on a journey through the frickin' snow in the West. It is brutal, it is bloody, but it's really good because it's so different than anything I've read before. That's how I would describe it.
Excellent.
And the creator's really, really nice and delightful, so
heck yeah.
That helps.
I might steal that one. And then I read a bunch of, like, coming of age stuff. I read A Girl Mode, finally. So this is about a girl, a recently out trans girl, and she is trying to figure out where she belongs and who she belongs with. This book took some turns that I was not expecting, and I loved it. I love how she realized that everyone was a jerk.
It's like the opposite of Mean Girls.
It is. She gets involved with all of these groups, and she gets involved with these certain boys who are idiots. Like, they war against each other, and you're so convinced that one is, like, better than the other, and then he turns out to be an idiot. But that's literally just the theme of my stack, is men are idiots. But it was really cute. It was really silly and fun, and just her learning how to be herself and how to be a girl.
And her mom is not
in her life,
so she's struggling with girlhood because of that.
Exactly. All she has is her dad, who's trying his absolute best and is a sweetheart.
Yeah. But he doesn't know how to be a girl.
Exactly. He doesn't.
And he doesn't know how to raise a girl because...
Yeah.
I thought that part was really well done.
It was really, really well done. Yeah. It was really good. And I like how messy she was as well, because I definitely hated her at points. But because, you just want to, like, smack them. So that's not good.
Very realistic.
So yeah, very realistic to a teenage girl.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really good. It was really enjoyable.
I'm sorry,
Highly
buddy.
recommend. Oh, hey, look who came to visit.
You awake? Okay. Watson wants to tell you about Carmilla. Okay. So Carmilla 1 is about Athena messing up her life and sleeping with Carmilla. And then she finds out about her family history, and Carmilla's back. The end. Just kidding.
This book is by Amy Chu. She came and visited us. She was also at Heroes Con. So
yeah. I don't really know what to say about Carmilla the character is from Carmilla the book, but Amy Chu made this her own story. I really love Athena because she's messy and makes mistakes, And I was like, what are you doing, woman?
Uh-huh.
You're ruining the best thing that's ever happened to you.
Yep.
But then she finds some happiness in the second book. And book 3 is coming out soon. And it is about Athena's daughter, I think, is what Amy said.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta know.
Yeah.
What happened?
I'm really excited to read it. I love vampires and I love women. So I think this
Sapphic
is
vampires.
Sapphic vampires. It's my favorite genre ever. So I'm very
There's a lot of
very
death.
excited. Well, it's vampires.
Lots of death.
A lot of death, a lot of undeath.
Family secrets.
Love.
And maybe your family is not very nice.
Yeah. I feel like that's also a lot of the books.
Yes.
Next I have How It All Ends. This was so good. I really enjoyed it. So this book is about Tara, and she skips 8th grade. She goes straight to high school.
Right.
So she is a year younger than everybody at the high school. And that's a really big leap to make from a 7th grader to suddenly being in high school. So it is about her kind of dealing with feeling like she missed out on a whole bunch of things just because she was too smart for them. And she's really creative, she's really artsy, and she's constantly making up stories to make herself feel a little bit better. And like I said, it's another coming of age type thing. As she moves on through her life, she realizes it was a good decision, and she ends up making more friends than she thought she would have, including people from her middle school that also skipped a grade. And yeah, it was really good, and a lot of different colors were used in the different scenes and whatnot. I don't know if you can see, you can't see. But I really liked that. The art is very good. And yeah, I highly recommend.
Emma is married to Tilly Walden, who is
really?
my favorite. Yes.
Really? I didn't know that! Oh my god. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's Tilly Walden's wife.
I love it even more now. What the heck? That's perfect. I'm so happy.
I'm so scared your stack is just gonna go.
Yeah, I might.
It's getting there.
It's getting there. I'm gonna. Yeah. We'll do a little bit of that. A little bit of that.
Jenga. Playing Jenga.
Jenga.
I read Low Orbit. This is not what I was expecting, but it was still really, really good. I thought it was going to be a sci-fi, but it was just a coming-of-age story about a Malaysian American teen trying to figure out their identity, and they weren't really getting along with their mom because they try to come out and the mom's just like ignoring them. Their dad is not around, and they're subletting from this guy, and his son also lives there, but the guy is an author, and she starts reading his book, and that's where the sci-fi elements kind of come in, because she's correlating his story with her life, even though I didn't necessarily see the parallels, but it was interesting. And she makes friends with the neighbor's kid, even though he was older. But it's just about coming out and finding out who you are, and family is crazy. I did like the end, though, so I won't spoil that for you.
Okay, thank you.
But it was good. It just wasn't what I was expecting based on the title, and that's not always a bad thing.
Yes, exactly. All right, final couple here. How many do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Let's go!
We're so cool. Next I read Of Her Own Design. What I loved most about this book is the different art styles used. So it starts off in black and white, and then our main character, whose name is Bree, so she's a writer, and has super bad writer's block right now. And so she finds a new store in town that has just opened, and the owner of the store, Ambrose Chance, gives Bree this pen to write her stories with. And the pen everything that Bree ends up writing with the pen comes to life. And with each different, she wrote 3 stories, and with each story, a different art style is used. So like I said, it starts off black and white, and then we go that, and
I just assumed it was about fashion design.
that's what I thought as well. That's what I thought as well. But no. And that's she so wrote cool. In 3 different eras as well. So it is her and her ex-best friend who are stuck in these worlds trying to live the story and not die. And so yeah, it was really, really good. And it has a happy little ending. It turns out that Ambrose Chance is like a bad guy. Which is probably a spoiler. It doesn't. No, it ends really pretty. So I like the evolution of the art. I love the different art styles, the different writing styles as well. It definitely changes based on whichever story they're in.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
that's gonna be so hard.
Very, very good.
You're writing like 4 stories in
literally. Yeah, but it was good. It was really good.
I read Young Hag and the Witch's Quest. I read this because it was nominated for an Eisner, and it was probably the only book in the category that I hadn't read yet. So I think for middle grade, the Eisner category for middle grade, and it's basically a King Arthur retelling.
Wow.
Woo! But she's called Young Hag because that's just the title that she's given when she comes of age, and she's traveling with her grandmother on a quest, and you also get all the King Arthur lore throughout the whole quest and finding out, you know, all the historical and mythical and magical and mystical, and the art was really fun, but the characters aren't always as they seem. It was a fun journey. It was a fun journey. She learns a lot about herself too.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Next, in a stark contrast from the past 3 or 4 books I've talked about, I read Animal Pound, also by Tom King. Are you surprised? No. This was a lot. This was a lot. I went into it knowing it would be a lot, but not that much.
Did you read Animal Farm?
I did. I've read Animal Farm way too many times. Just because it's one of my favorite books, honestly, because the surprise of it all is just insane.
Read it, so.
But this is a retelling of Animal Farm, except instead of like pigs and cows and dogs, or pigs and cows and there was another animal involved in Animal Farm. These are dogs, cats, and bunnies, and it's a shelter. And you know, if you've read Animal Farm, you know the animals rise up and they start working together without humans, and they run the place for a little while. And they have it's insane. Like, I wish I could tell you about it. There are...
Do the animals talk?
Yeah. Well, they talk to each other. They talk to each other. They can't talk to the humans. Except in the end, there's kind of like a weird talking to humans type thing. But basically, if you haven't read Animal Farm, it's the animals go into an uprising. They take care of themselves for so long. They form a political party. That political party goes sour, and eventually they come full circle into being used by humans again. And so it's about the dangers of like people rising into power who should not be in power. And there's a certain character who talks like a certain someone, and ends up ruining it for everybody. Oh my god, it was so good. It was so good. And the writing was phenomenal, obviously. But yeah, it hurt. It was a lot. But if you read Animal Farm, you'll like this, and you should read Animal Farm.
I should read that first before reading that.
I don't think it matters. They both say the same thing. It's just one is different animals, and this one would probably be easier to read.
Probably.
But
especially for my simple brain.
Exactly. But yeah, this was another one of my favorites that I read. I had to put it down, and I didn't read anything for like another 24 hours afterwards. It was really good. It's just really, really good. Okay, go.
I read the series finale to Grand Slam Romance. This is volume 3. Farewell to Babes. So one of our characters, anyways, the 3 characters are Mickey, Astra, and Wolfgang. They're lesbians, and they're trying to be a polycule. So Astra is like, well, I need to go say goodbye to all the people that I've been in a relationship before. I need to go kiss them goodbye. So she goes on this journey to kiss them all goodbye, and they're like, why are you running away from Wolfgang and Mickey? Like, what are you doing? And then they come back together, they play softball one last time, and they realize, like, no, we just need to be together. They are ridiculous. There's a lot of sex and making out in this book. There's a lot of magical girl softball, and so many lesbians.
That's my favorite.
It's a lesbian softball team. That's magical, basically. Have you read any of these?
I read the first volume.
Oh,
I haven't read the other 2.
Volume 2 is...
I have all 3 of them. Don't worry.
Crazy.
But
the fact that she's like, I need to go say goodbye to all my ex-lovers. I'm like, girl, what are you doing?
What are you doing? Don't do that. That's a terrible idea.
But that's where the title Farewell to Babes, I'm pretty sure it came from. And then they're like, well, we live in different parts of the universe. How is this polycule gonna work? So there's a lot of like, are you running away from your problems? Or, yeah. Mickey and Wolfgang have a lot to figure out too. But I feel like Astra was stealing the show in this one. Because she's crazy.
Love.
It was good. It's a fun series.
I need to
ridiculous.
That's what I need more ridiculous. Next I read The Flip Side. So this story is about Theo, and his best friend in the whole wide world has just died. And it was a long, slow death, unfortunately. And he kind of watched his best friend die. And that's a lot to take on as a 15-year-old kid. And he just feels so alone because he didn't have any other friends, and he just feels terrible, right? So he goes to sleep one night, and when he wakes up, everything has turned upside down. So this one's another really hard one to explain. He wakes up on the flip side, basically. So it's everything is upside down. If you were like on top of his house, you would literally just fly up into the universe. So this one's it is really heavy.
Because his world got turned upside down.
His world got turned exactly. And it's also he meets a girl named Emma, and she's been here way longer than he has. And I think the whole thing is kind of a metaphor for like suicide, and feeling so devastatingly alone that nothing else really matters. Your whole world is flipped upside down, so why even keep going? And Emma also has a lot of issues that she's working out as well. And together they kind of battle these creatures that are haunting them. And yeah, it's heavy. It's a lot to take in, but it's really, really good. Yeah, it's really sweet. So very, very good. Very good. I wish I had more coherent thoughts on it.
I haven't been coherent this whole time.
But yeah, real good. Really good.
I read Mothballs, which is another Eisner nominee this year. And this is basically about Ro, and her grandmother passes away and she moves into her house. And so she's uncovering the history of her grandmother's life from the time she was basically born and immigrated to Argentina, and then how the whole family drifted apart. And so most of the book is the flashbacks, but then we also get snippets of Ro living in the house, and she's cohabitating with a flea-infested cat, and she's like waiting for the exterminator to show up to get rid of the fleas. And she makes a comment that the house has a smell, so hence the title is Mothballs. But it's just basically like reckoning with your family history and your family trauma. And I love the art style because everyone has little tiny heads and big bodies.
I love that.
And rosy cheeks. But families are complicated, and that's all it's about.
Yep. Very cool. So next I read Black Hole by Charles Burns.
What made you pick that up?
Philip. He's the reason I read most things. And I had found it in a little free library, so I was like, wow, that's really cool. I should pick it up. And he was like, it's really good, but it's a lot. And it is a lot. It is so much. It's about all of these kids, and there's I guess it would be an STD traveling around, except instead of making them sick, it disfigures them, and it changes the way they look, and it causes them to grow new body parts, and stuff like that.
I had no idea that's what that was about.
And when you're infected, you are shunned from society. So all of the infected children go and live on this hill. And sometimes the regular teenagers go up there and like make fun of them and all of this stuff. It's about a lot of different characters dealing with this. And a lot of different disfiguration. It, like, if I didn't have any words to say about, like...
So, Philip always complains that all I read is depressing stuff, and he's over here
telling me that I should read this.
And Pride of Baghdad.
And Pride of Baghdad. Listen. I'm glad I read it. I don't think I understood it. But then again, I wonder if it's not meant to be understood, or if I just need to reread it. Yeah, it took me like a week to read, which isn't... Normally I can pick up a graphic novel and read it in a couple of hours, but I had to take lots of breaks. Yeah. It was a lot. This was so much, guys. I recommend it, but not a lot.
Not for the faint of Shoo.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to end on that one because that's happy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I read Second Shift, which is a sci-fi book. There's AI, there's... So, Bertie Duran lives on this pod, basically, and outpost. And her job is to... She works for this corporation, and she works the second shift, and she's basically all alone out there. Philip is much better at explaining this than me, but the whole story, we get Bertie and her brother talking, and they find this other, like, basically world, and they're like, what is this? And her brother's talking to her, like, do you want to leave this place? Like, why are we out here all alone? It's so desolate, it's cold, and they have an AI companion that takes life of different animals, but, it was basically
another
a psychotic break.
Oh, cute. Okay.
It's very like, when I finished it, I was like, did I just understand this? And I made him read it, and then he's like, yeah, you understood it completely. But, the art is really cool. I love the different parts of the world, and the AI can generate, like, backgrounds, so it looks like they're somewhere that they're not. And I love the disclaimer. No AI was used in making this book, but how AI was used in the book was really fascinating. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Philip would say it's a psychotic break. That's how he would describe it. I'm not saying more than that.
Yeah.
I've already said
That's
too
good.
much.
Exactly. I want to borrow that one. Probably. Yeah. I like the cover a lot.
We got it from Kickstarter.
That's very cool. Very fun. Very fun.
Avery Hill publishes some really unique books. So, big fan.
Hooray. So the last one I have is Dark Knights of Steel by Tom Taylor. This was really good. I typically don't care for, like, medieval books. I don't really like the knights. I don't really like Knights of the Round Table or King Arthur. I don't typically like that stuff.
Hag.
I should.
That's a King Arthur.
It's just not my favorite. I don't like it. But this was really, really, really good. They really took the characters and made them different enough that it felt like an Elseworld story, but not too different that it took away from who they are as characters. And also Wonder Woman is in a relationship with another woman, which is excellent. It's this book's version of Supergirl, and I really want more of that, please. But yes, it's really well drawn. It's fun, and intense. It has a bunch of different recognizable characters. The story itself is kind of harrowing. But yeah, it was really good. It's really, really good. I highly recommend.
I read It's Lonely at the Center.
I hate this book.
Exactly.
I love it.
Exactly. First of all, it's freaking depressing.
Yeah.
Second of all, the art style, there's no one art style. It's chaos, it's messy, it's so fun in that way. But Zoe is going through it.
In this book.
Oh my god. It's not a happy book.
No, not at all.
And I just appreciate how she was telling her story. And in the middle of it, she's just like, I want to start over. And literally, you get the cover and the indicia all over again. She literally just starts over. And my favorite part, though, is all her different selves. How she draws, like, young her, really young her.
Her different stages.
Like. Yeah, and then sometimes she doesn't have a face. She's just this brown thing. And her friend's a bird. A lot of the other people are, what is the word? Not anamorphic, but
something.
Yeah, the other people, because she doesn't want to give away their qualities, I guess, are drawn like animals. If you want a memoir about depression, there you go.
There you are.
And reading it now, knowing that she's grieving her brother, really hit extra hard. Like, yeah, really. If she were to rewrite this today, like how it probably wouldn't have been any different. No. Which is really sad.
Yeah. It's really sad. And it's a cathartic read, I would say, for me at least. Like, I felt some sort of way afterwards. But the process of it is
like, who else does that?
Exactly. That's one of my favorite things ever, when they use mixed art styles.
And like her panels are so perfect.
Yeah, all the art is meticulously drawn.
And then you get stuff like this.
Yeah.
Or like she's punching herself. They kept saying like, you're the future of comics, and she definitely is. So the expectations of living up to that, and your art is supposed to mean something, and or do I just pump it out because it's my job? You know, that whole
mentality.
Yeah. She's just surviving.
Yeah.
But
luckily,
on a happier note,
ta-da!
The Cartoonist Club! This is one of the greatest books to ever exist.
Truly, by two of the greatest authors to ever exist.
This is basically an young adult version, or middle grade, or young reader, whatever you want to say, of understanding comics. So, these kids start a club, and they draw cartoons, they make zines, they learn all the rules to making comics, and Miss Fatima was the best. Literally the best. They collaborate and work together. They help each other with their stories, with their art. They sell them at a library Comic-Con. And it's so, so, so good. And it teaches kids how to like engage with art and how to create their own art and what to do when you want to pursue something like this. And it addresses everything very, very well. Nothing felt overdone. No. So. And Scott McCloud did the art for all of their zines, so you get to see the individualized art styles and stories, and it's like so different than Raina's art style. I love that part because you got to actually like read their stories, and how creative they were. But most importantly, like they realized that there are no rules. You can break the fourth wall and do your panels however you want, use whatever type of instrument you want to draw. There's no right way to do it. No, comics are just, there's so many things. But most importantly, they're not a genre. Oh, sorry, Watson. That was my fault.
That's the big part, though.
The big part is comics are not a genre. They're a medium. And this book is amazing.
Yes, please read it.
Please. This is probably my favorite of June.
Definitely. My favorite of June was maybe Animal Pound or Rebis. I forgot about Rebis. That's Rebis. This is how it ends, or how it all ends. A lot of really great books this month. Insanely good books.
And we know your least favorite was
it's No Longer Human. Yes,
that was for me. What about June? Did you have a least favorite?
Probably The Human Target.
Oh my god, I didn't read a bad book.
That's awesome though.
I'm not saying I had a least favorite. Maybe Mothballs, just because it wasn't as good as the rest, but I still really liked it.
Yeah, you can still appreciate the book itself without it being for you.
You should read this.
So yeah, you should read that. You should read Superman vs. Meshi. You should read...
you should just read.
You should just read. Please read. It is good. Educate yourself.
And Watson says he loves you.
Oh yes, Watson loves everybody.
He's so sweepy.
Me too. Me too.
Okay. Any final thoughts?
No, I think we did it.
We did it.
2 whole months.
Hooray! If you made it this far, thanks for watching.
Thank you so much.
We'll see you next time.
Next month.
Bye.
Bye.
The thing is dead.